So the task was to synthesize a controller for this specification. Let's just first check that we do not have determinization enabled. So here we see determinization of the static controller is not enabled. That's what we want right now for exploring it. Then we say synthesize a static symbolic controller on this specification. We can just quickly check that it worked. So we see it worked. Of course, if you have some guarantee that says guarantee always false, then the synthesis will tell us that this is an unrealizable specification. Yeah, and then there won't be any controller. So now let's see, we still have the previous controller. Now let's walk it as both players. And then we see that the environment initially is controlling the position of the robot. So initially the robot can be placed anywhere. Let's place the robot at 0, 0. Then the system can choose which way the robot moves. So let's maybe move down. And then we see that now the robot in the X coordinate still stays in 0, but in the Y coordinate has moved to 1, which makes a lot of sense. So if we go down again, we see it goes to 2. So now actually we are, that's based on the specification. The assumption was always here prescribing how the coordinates are updated. Okay, so now let's try some other moves. Let's move up again. Okay, then we go to 0, 1. If we move maybe left, which shouldn't work, we stay in this coordinate at 0. If we go right, it also increases to 1. If we stay, oh, suddenly there is something strange going on. So now the environment could place the robot anywhere, which is not what we want to achieve by stay usually. So there is some issue here. If we try the other ones, we see there's always just a single option. So now let's close this and let's inspect the specification. We have actually forgotten to include the case for stay, and that interestingly was already in the previous version of the grid that we used in L3. We simply forgot that. The fixed predicate is basically saying that we keep the value fixed. So fix that coordinate. So sometimes it makes a lot of sense to just simulate the controllers a little bit and make sure that we didn't forget anything in our assumptions or guarantees.